This is a Jmix exclusive.
High Dream says, Archibald, you ever thought Tupac was alive at any time of your life? Yeah, I was at a White Castle when I was in Covington, Kentucky, and I saw a dude that kind of looked like Tupac, and I was, I thought, well, maybe Tupac was alive, but that's pretty much been the only time I've thought that. I mean, I've been around enough people who had no reason to lie about it that assured me he's dead. And again, why would they be lying?
There is a gentleman, and this is a true story, and if you internet detectives can actually find this out. There was a thing that was going around about a man who was the same age, and his name was Tupac Amaru Shakur, and he was arrested a couple years ago. That guy lives in my hometown. I know that guy. I've met that guy. So some of this evidence that is being used to show you that Tupac is alive is just people that, like with this guy, he changed his name to Tupac Amaru Shakur. He has the same birthday. It's kind of funny. It's a troll. But you have to keep in mind, the evidence is overwhelming that he's gone. And if anybody talks to anyone who knew Tupac intimately, his family members, personally, he's gone, guys. I mean, he's gone. His family is hurting.
I agree. Official LKO, welcome to the show. Maybe you're a first timer, but you hit the nail on the head. You get my award today for quote of the day. And that is, the thing about Orlando is if it was a black-on-black shooting that Vegas could pin on a rapper's death, they would do it in a heartbeat because they take the easy road. You are 1,000,000% correct. Drop the mic. Done. The Vegas police could close this case if they wanted to. You don't think they're tired of getting the fucking calls about it all the time? You know, you get people calling and bugging the shit out of Vegas PD. They get tired of talking about it after a while. They get tired of justifying it. They get tired of rocks being thrown at them by people like Ben Crump talking about how they didn't do their job and stuff like that. You know, at the end of the day, it wouldn't be just so easy for them to just close the case and be done with it. Okay? Why leave it open? Okay? It doesn't make any sense. The reason is because they have everything lined up that they need to go to make a prosecution. They're waiting for something to happen to make it flip. That's what they're waiting for. They have everything, and they're not going to share it with the Vegas or with the LAPD. They're not going to share it with the Compton cops. They're not going to share it with the sheriff. Vegas police, I believe, have it all. They have it. They're waiting for something to flip. They're waiting for somebody to flip. They're waiting to get that one thing that they could do to lock it all up and lock it up, throw away the key. Clearly, the person in person being presented to them by detectives from the Compton Police Department wasn't enough. Okay, it wasn't enough to get that person. Okay, circumstantially or otherwise, whatever they had wasn't enough. Okay, and I'm sure they want to close this case. I'm sure they want to get rid of it. Okay, LAPD is going about a different tactic. They're starting up a TV show called Unsolved with Greg Kading, and they're going out about it a different way. They're going to go make it such a mockery and confuse the shit out of everybody so that they don't know what's going on. And the public's going to be confused because you got a Darren Dupree on the show, but then you got a Darren Dupree who's a real cop in L.A. And which one is he? The guy in the show that jumped through the window on fire, or the other guy who's the cop on the LAPD, the grim sleeper Darren Dupree? Okay, which guy is?
You got to love how they're promoting the show with billboards that say, 20 years later, still hasn't been solved.
Yeah, that's right. No problem. And why has this case been solved? How, you know, it probably the worst marketing ever. Okay, let's just broadcast the fact that we can't do our jobs. Okay, which this is why it leads me to believe that it's all going to be a giant mea culpa. How Greg Katie's going to talk about how the LAPD or other people or some powers to be, the boogeyman or whomever, all conspired against them so that they couldn't get the information. And I'm so sick of it. That's all I hear from guys. And I'm not saying Kading. I'm just talking about there's some other cops that were on the Compton PD and some other people like that. And you hear their time. All they do is get on shows and talk about how, you know, at the end of the day, they just didn't get it done. Okay? Bottom line, they showed up limp to the Bottom line.
Well,
okay?
I'm gonna pitch a series. I'm not a house painter, so I'm gonna pitch a series to USA Network called Unpainted.
Unpainted. Why we couldn't paint this house? That's it. It'll be the trials of RJ and Jesse and why they couldn't paint the house. I love it. Yes. Okay.
I'm good. I've fulfilled all my legal obligations tonight, RJ. If you want to take a few more, take a few more. I'm
Okay.
good.
Let's see. So, all right. So, okay. So, let's see here. Adam B. Why would his family snitch him out if Tupac was alive? Tupac could be in witness protection. Well, Adam, then I guess you don't know too much about Tupac's history. You got to realize that Tupac was not only facing allegations and charges in connection with what he was on probation for, okay? There's no witness protection because what would Tupac be giving up to get that protection? You got to have something to give the government to get witness protection. If you're saying he's going to rat out Suge for drug dealing or for whatever, I don't think he had that kind of exposure. It's an interesting concept, I'll give you that. But the bottom line is that if again, his aunt, his cousins, and people, there are a lot of people that were suffering because of Tupac being gone. You think all those people are actors? It's it's like all acting. I mean, these are people that I saw with my own eyes. I mean, this is not a Kathy Scott who's you never really ever met anybody related to the family, okay? This is not some third parties. I've been there when they have talked about it amongst themselves. And Gloria Cox would not have lied to Frank Alexander and said the things about Frank on camera that she said. They talked about it. They cried over it. It was just extremely difficult thing for me to watch these people that live with this pain. That if Tupac was alive, he's the biggest mama effer on the planet for what he's doing to people that were his friends, his family, the people that loved him and supported him. It would be the most selfish thing anybody could do. And that's why I don't believe he's alive. Because it would never make sense that he would do that to the people that really cared about him, the Tracy Robins of the world, Layla Steinbergs of the world. To believe that he's alive is to believe that either it's the grandest conspiracy above anything I could even dream of in my wildest dreams, or he has alienated every person who ever loved him and cared about him, because these people could not all keep that same secret. That's all I'm going to say about that. Bottom line. Let's see here.
Rich McCauley.
Who said that? Oh, is there somebody called Rich McCauley on here?
No, they said address it. Address. What about it, J.M. Kazi? What about Rich McCauley?
What would you like to know about Rich McCauley? He was an LAPD guy that took a job that Brian Bentley said they were soliciting LAPD officers $75 an hour to come and work with Death Row Records. Rich McCauley did the right thing. Instead of just going and doing it and asking forgiveness later, he actually asked permission first. And they said no, and I think he did it anyway. But he was the one who at least asked permission first. All the other ones just did it. Okay, that was the bottom line. Shazi 187, have I spoke with George Kalisis? I don't really know that there's much to speak with George Kalisis about, because first off, under attorney-client privilege, an attorney is not obligated to talk about any kind of meeting that they had with it, or even the existence of a meeting with it, because by denying a meeting, if Club 662 or Suge Knight or Reggie Wright and anybody else, if he was a client to them, or if it could in any way, shape, or form adversely impact a client of his, he's not going to. I mean, we thought about interviewing him all the way back in 2009, 2008. But the bottom line is that we don't go after people that we know we're not going to get anything from. It's a waste of time. Because again, at the end of the day, he might be very polite, might be the nicest guy in the world, but at the end of the day, he's going to say, it's attorney-client privilege. I'd love to talk to you about it, but I can't talk to you about it because it's protected under attorney-client privilege. So there's just really no way to get anything for it like that. All right.
Hey all, it's Jmix here, and I want to thank everybody that took the time to watch the video. If you liked it, go ahead and throw it a like, maybe even a comment down below. And if you really like my content, check out my Patreon. The link is down below. For $1 a month, you get all the live streams, unedited as soon as they happen, plus interviews in advance and other bonus content. The link is in the description. If not, you guys could always watch one of the videos to the side of me. See you on the next upload. One love, everybody.